So, you want to know what a cryptocurrency roadmap is and most importantly how you can use it? Then you have come to the right place because that is precisely the topic of this video. Hey everyone and welcome back. This is the Part-Time Economist, and in this week's Crypto Whiteboard 101 video, we are looking at the concept of a cryptocurrency roadmap. Now, many people get the terms roadmap and white paper confused, so we'll clear that up. We'll take a look at some examples of white papers, and we'll get a better understanding of how a white paper can help you when you're looking at cryptocurrency projects. Now, first thing is, what is a roadmap? Now, a roadmap is kind of like a roadmap. And what I mean by that is that a cryptocurrency roadmap is very similar to an old school map. Let's suppose you're planning a trip. You have your start point, you have your end point. So, number one, it's telling you where you want to go. And as you're planning out your journey, you're going to see perhaps what roads you have to take, what intersections you're going to hit. So, a roadmap not only shows you your end destination, but it also shows you what to expect along the way. And then lastly, if we're looking at our start point and our end point and we're using the scale on the map and we're adding up the miles, it's going to give us a very general idea of how long it might take us to get to all of these different points on the roadmap. Cryptocurrency roadmap is very, very similar. It tells us where a project is going, what it's going to do, and a general timeline for getting there. I want to be very clear. I say a general timeline because we know, especially in cryptocurrency, with funding, with regulations, timelines can vary considerably. So they should not at all be taken as a definite amount of time. With that being said, I want to clear up this distinction between a white paper and a roadmap because sometimes people get them confused. And in reality, if you get them confused, not really a huge deal because they're very similar. But for those of you that want a little bit more look at it, a white paper is more of the comprehensive, all-in-one document that tells you everything you need to know about the cryptocurrency. So it's going to say why the cryptocurrency was created. What did the founders of this cryptocurrency think was needed in the cryptocurrency market but didn't exist? Why did they create this cryptocurrency? What are the technical details of this cryptocurrency? How are the staking rewards calculated? What's the vesting schedule for the ICO tokens? All of these different things will be analyzed in the cryptocurrency white paper. By contrast, a roadmap is much more tangible. So we're not talking about theoreticals. We're looking at specific things. What is this project going to do? What partnerships? What exchanges is it going to be listed on? Is it going to have smart contracts? These are all things that we're looking at in the roadmap. So the roadmap sometimes can be a subsection of that white paper, or other times cryptocurrency projects will want to push out that roadmap and make it its own separate web page. In either case, it does a very similar function. Now, the best way of understanding anything, in my opinion, is to look at some real-world examples. So I do want to pull up a few cryptocurrency roadmaps that are out there on the market. Now, this is not by any stretch an endorsement of any of these or a disendorsement of any of these. Simply doing this to help you understand what a roadmap looks like in real life, because if you don't see a roadmap, it can be hard to understand it. So, first cryptocurrency project we've got pulled up here is Cardano, and what I want you to notice is that this is their roadmap, and as I said, it tells us where we're going, how long it can take to get there, and the milestones we will hit along the way. So what you can see, they've divided up their timeline into 5 different phases. The first phase, it tells us during this phase, we're going to be working on the foundation, right? So you can look through here, you can see the specifics for us aren't really important because this isn't a video about Cardano, but it's telling us what we are doing. We're laying the stages. Then we're getting decentralization. In phase 3, we're working on smart contracts. Now, the important thing I want you to notice here is that I'm just glancing at this. I don't see any specific dates. I don't see by November of 2023 we will have this. But it's organized in phases. So it gives you a general timeline, a sequence of events so that you can know, okay, after we get these smart contracts, then we're moving into scaling. Then we're moving into governance. So it gives you a little bit of a general idea. Now, let's flip to another page here and look at the basic attention roadmap. Now, as you can see here, this says Roadmap 2.0. What does that mean? It means they've probably updated this before. So what this is doing, again, is telling us what the cryptocurrency is doing. But I want to skip down here to the approach. So It's telling us these new features of the Brave wallet. And this is why a roadmap is important, because it's giving us specific details. So in a cryptocurrency white paper, we might be saying we're going to focus on enabling better Web3 integration. We want to help cryptocurrency become better for online commerce. That's good. But within the roadmap, we're listing very specific things. So, hey, we're introducing a new native Ethereum wallet implementation into Brave. Okay, that makes sense. That's very specific. We're going to give people options for buying crypto with fiat payment methods. Again, very specific. It's a tangible thing that they're introducing. And again, this isn't a Brave video, but if you want to look at the roadmap, obviously, you can go and do that. And the thing that I'm trying to get you to see is that it is very specific. It's telling us specific things that it's going to want to do. Again, this is for alien worlds, what you can see here. Now, this is one thing that I do like, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when you're evaluating or using a roadmap. You can see here that they've listed some things as completed, some things as near term, some as coming soon, and then some as future plans. And again, let's take a look at this. Completed says, obviously, things they have already done. Near term, again, you can see here, this isn't saying by this exact date at this exact time this will happen. It's saying in the near term. So don't really think of this as a promise. Think of this as an intent, right? So we want to get this. Think of it as a priority, right? Our priority is working on this, this, and this. After we accomplish this, we will do the following things. So what does that tell us? If we're evaluating a cryptocurrency project, we know that we're not going to get, for example, this interoperability between digital items until the team has, for example, worked on these nebula events, right? So it gives us, as someone that's looking at a project, it gives us realistic expectations of what the project can do. So, moving on to the final phase of this video, how can you use a cryptocurrency roadmap? Well, there's a couple ways. The first, I like to think of kind of seeing if the cryptocurrency project in and of itself aligns with your goals. So let's suppose that you are someone that thinks a cryptocurrency project should really focus on increasing the ability of people to purchase online items using cryptocurrency. If you were going through a roadmap, you would want to find examples of that would support that. So again, just using a complete example here, let's go to Brave, and I'm saying, okay, I want this to enable cryptocurrency web payments, and it's introducing a wallet, it's making these things easier, then I might be interested in that. By contrast, if I'm looking at something that's focused on making better cryptocurrency web payments, and the only thing that I see in the roadmap is examples of getting listed on exchanges, signing partnerships with various companies, hiring influencers, right? Then I'm going to start thinking, okay, maybe this isn't the exact project for me. So the first way of using a roadmap is seeing if the stated goals line up with your interests. So it's kind of just validating them and taking them at their face value. The second way of using a cryptocurrency roadmap is kind of, let's call it internal validation. And what does this mean? This means, let's suppose that we look at the roadmap and we say, all of these goals, all of these items, they look pretty good, right? They seem to have be things that I agree with. What we want to do then is we want to look internally at the roadmap. So we can go back and we can see here with Alien Worlds, they've listed the completed accomplishments, right? So we can go back and we can say, hey, of these things that they said they are going to deliver on, have they delivered on them, right? Because if you see a cryptocurrency project and they're promising all of these things, like very intense, very technical things that require a lot of time, a lot of effort to pull off, but you look at their roadmap and you can see, well, the only thing they've really done is maybe a website redesign. And they're talking about launching a game-changing, world-shifting, paradigm-altering global finance website. And the only points of their roadmap they've accomplished have been hiring a design team, spending ads, right? Things like that. So you want to kind of judge them by their past. Have they been able to do the things that they said they're going to be able to do? Have the things that they've done in the past been meaningful? Have they done these things on schedule, right? So if I was looking at a roadmap and I saw something was supposed to launch in August of 2011 and it's November of 2023 that it finally gets launched, I might say, hey, this project, it might still be a good project, but I'm knowing based on their past history that I might expect things to take a little bit longer. So evaluating a roadmap, using it for your own purposes, again, this is not by any stretch financial advice. It's just kind of common sense stuff. Number one, you should see that the project you're investing in, that it aligns with what you think is needed in the cryptocurrency market. And then once you've satisfied that to your own standards, it might be a good idea to look at the roadmap and say, okay, they're promising all these things. Have they actually delivered on any of those things? So that's kind of the general idea with a roadmap. Again, I know we checked out a few specific projects here. I always like to close out the videos by saying that obviously nothing is financial advice, really just an exploration of what a roadmap is, giving you some examples here. And the main takeaway is that a roadmap shows you where a project is going, what it's going to do, and how long it can take to get there. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching the videos. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any other comments or topics you'd like me to cover, be sure and leave them down below. I can't really cover anything project specific, but if you've got big, broad, general questions about how cryptocurrencies work, the theory behind them, anything like that, I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.